Yeah, nigga. It's B-roll. Some cutaways and shit. But what you want to talk about? Like, what's the focus of yours or something there?
Two things. One, your business, and then whilst black. All right. All right. So,
Oh, I have a shirt for you in the car.
oh yeah, definitely anything. I'll wear it on a boat party or anything.
Yeah, right now.
So tell me about your business.
Yeah, so, alright. How long are these cuts again? Like 1 minute?
1 minute about
Yeah, so I have to keep them thing
Yeah.
quick and whatnot. You see me? Alright, cool.
I'll edit it up and everything. But yeah, just tell me about your business and what got you started in the marketing and branding industry.
Alright, quick fact. Like, my degree is actually
Go like this. And
which side?
yeah,
No?
yeah, good.
Alright, quick fact. My degree is actually in biology, so the fact that we're even here is actually, I don't know, God's plan to rip off Drake. I don't know, but
Hold on. I know the background. All right, let's start. Good.
yeah, all right. I mean,
How did you get started? You're in the marketing branding industry. You're up and coming in Jamaica. You're really putting Kingston, Jamaica on the map, the Caribbean. What got you started in this industry, and where are you now?
what got me started was just impatience and just not sure if what you were doing was supposed to be what you were actually supposed to do. So I'm from a science background. I just never looked for a science job. My parents probably don't know that, but I just wanted to get into something that was creative. Eventually, found my way to promoting parties. You know, quick step as a writer at a magazine company, and then boom, something just happened, and we took advantage of, and like we just never said no to any particular question. We were like, yo, I feel like a slunch. I feel like a slump
You're good. You're talking.
to get to that.
No. It's perfect.
So look anywhere.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. So party promoting into fuck that shit.
Let's read it.
I've never actually like, had to tell my story like that.
First time for everything.
Mhm.
You think you're a model now?
Yeah. Yeah, nigga. Fierce.
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 Sasha Fierce.
Fierce, bro.
Sasha Fierce.
Yeah, but
How you get started in the marketing industry? How did it all happen?
sheer luck, some persistence, and just not knowing when to say no to some jobs.
Good
But,
question. I'm pretty sure you started at a big agency,
mhm.
and you decided to start your own.
All right,
Why?
all right. So my first advertising job was at OGM Integrated, which is probably like one of the big three agencies in the island. Then I was a creative director for the Lab, which was a startup at the time, and we grew that company really quickly. You know, that was a lot of fun, like just like learning that aspect of it. I mean, everything was new. Like we had to develop everything from scratch. But after a while, you know, the way advertising was set up, or the way it looked to me from that aspect, I needed to see it from some other spaces. And you know, I said, boy, Kimala, who is my mentor and my first boss, and I'm like, yo, I have to take a step somewhere else, and that's how Muse began. And that was 2017, which was a phenomenal year.
So talk about some of the brands that you work with and the services that you provide for them.
Yeah, well, early off at the lab, like we started off with some of the liquor brands. So Appleton Special, Rum Rules was my first liquor campaign. That was one that did really well in terms of just getting that hashtag out there. Rum Rules, everything. Eventually, when I left, I bid for Campari. So we did the first Campari national platform in Jamaica called Pop Style. So we conceptualized that, we built it out, we hired the suppliers, we managed that project, and that came off to be pretty seismic in the landscape. And considering the fact that we had been working with Campari so long, from about 2014, 2013, and to see what the brand has become known and to know that we are actually a part of that, then that's actually pretty huge for us, you know.
What type of services you provide? So that in particular, what type of services you provide for them?
All right, so the thing is, I've never listed a services list because it's whatever it is in the name of actually achieving that goal. So right now we're working with Rennippy White Rum. So they're like, we're doing this, and you guys tell us what do you need to do to get this done. So we're talking about if it needs a TV commercial, yes. Radio commercial, yes. If we need to do some print ads, some billboards, whatever it is, as long as it is in the name of achieving that particular objective. I was looking away a couple of times, but yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And where do you see the company in a few years?
The thing is, my company changes every day because I change every day. So I learn something new and I find a different way to bring a solution to the client. So the next frontier is content, and we're going into content big. Like Muse is going to be synonymous with creating the best content in Jamaica, aggregating the best content creators and giving them the platform to make the most money off of it, because our buzzword is creativity is investable. We're putting our money where our mouth is, so that's why we invested in a show called Dreaming Whilst Black. It's a YouTube show, but we think that if we can push this to the limit, people are going to look and say, wow, an agency in Jamaica just licensed a piece of a show, marketed it, and it reached to this particular heights. And that's something that's going to be seismic for our landscape, which I think is ripe for that expansion right now.
All right, so we get into it. Whilst Black, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Who's the guy? How you know him?
All right, so like that story starts probably like the year 2000 at Monroe, which is the greatest high school in the world. Fact check that. All right. So we all went to Monroe together. He was 2 years after me. His older cousin was 1 year after me, so we all kept that link. When they came to Kingston, because I got here before them, and like they were doing their shooting stuff, Ajani and I kind of collaborated on a couple of things. Henry actually worked with us at the lab for like, I think a year and a half, probably 2 years. So we hired him as an editor. So Ajani is now back in the UK, and he's like, yo, you have something hot to work on. When I see this, I say, yo, this bad. I saw like the trailer or the teaser or something, and I was like, yo, this bad. So I say, yo, let's do something. But at the time, the company wasn't a company that was looking at that. Like, we're still trying to like do the best ads at that point. Now we're trying to just make the best content and make brands benefit from that. So we paired Appleton Estate with the premiere of Dreaming Whilst Black in Jamaica. And like we're talking, this is Sunday night, and we had like 400 people who came out to just lime, chill, watch some film. Like, of course, we call it Film Night. And like that was a partnership with New Wave, which is another platform that brings creatives into the light. So that was a perfect synergy. And I think right there, people realize that there's a market for something other than what we're known for, which is the dancehall and now the carnival scene. So yeah, we're a big country. Everybody can have a space, and like there's different expressions, different music, different parties that just don't get that kind of support, but the market is there, and I think that's our job to bring all of that together.
So creating that content, especially Whilst Black, why do you think that story is important?
But that story is important because it's almost like a kick in the face, because this guy couldn't do it in Jamaica. Like, he just didn't get the support, you know. So he was like, yo, go foreign and him try and him save some money, him spend some money when him shouldn't spend, and him make it. But it's just like it couldn't happen here because it's like we weren't ready for it. Meaning, say, who's gonna pick up like a few £1,000s just to say, hey, just try something? I mean, he did it, and now we're saying this is a story about struggle, and it's almost autobiographical because he's telling a story about a struggling filmmaker in London and race and all that stuff, and that's things that we know out here in Jamaica. Like the race thing is just not as clearly defined as in other places where there's black, white. You understand what I said? But everybody face some form of struggle when it comes to trying to bring something new. I mean, who want to hire people with natty head and piercings and tattoos? And you know, for the first time, like if we make our industry valuable, then people can dress how they want and do them work. And at that point, the creatives have the power again, you see me? I mean, creatives have always led any great change, renaissance and them things. So why are we not on the cusp of that in Jamaica? No.
So it's a story about struggle and acceptance of other, right? And racism. Where do you want to see Whilst Black in the future with this short web series that's on YouTube?
I mean, I would love if just like everybody who just understand a little bit of a struggle just say, yo, we're gonna work with this something, yeah. We're gonna make it into something. Start a hashtag. Force some people to take notice that, hey, you know, something good came out of small beginnings, and the Caribbean is the epitome of small, but we've always had a big impact. So I think we're poised right now for that big impact in film, in content creation, in just curating our culture. I mean, we have the most vibrant culture, but we wait until Vice or somebody come down here to paint our picture for us. I mean, not everybody is always happy with how Jamaica is represented abroad, and that's because you can't wrong Vice to come down here and shoot a particular sensationalist thing, because that's what they're going back to present to their market. I mean, their big break was that the rock show in Baghdad. That's something that people had never seen before, and the most talked about one is the cannibalism. Like, that's their shock and awe thing. So who's the vanguard for our culture to say, yo, bruh, this is how we live, you understand what I mean? I say, like, don't act like we don't live good out here, you see me? Things tough, you see me? We have our problems, of course. Everywhere have them problems. We just have a problem painting our things, you see me? Because other countries have their own PR machinery that promote their own culture and say, yo, stuff's still good out here. We just make foreign people dictate how our culture is depicted. And I think it's time for us to take back that reins, you see me?
That's a good point. That's a good point. You don't see Norway. You know, Norway have the commercials come to Norway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then foreign people just come here and tell the story.
Yeah, it can't work. And I mean, like, yeah, we're sun and sand, and yeah, we're people, because like we've started to do that. But at the end of the day, it's culture that moves. You understand what I'm saying? And our culture is like in flux right now. I mean, just the fact that you're here, Nick, that Carnival is here and it's not going anywhere. So, yeah, it's like the information age means that information travels so much faster, right?
Social media.
Yeah. Yeah, Rich.
You don't need new things, though.
This one come back?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's buy me some.
Oh,
Let's buy me like a refreshing drink. Yeah, understand what I'm saying?
a refreshing drink.
Yeah, man.
Food. Oh, you eat food already?
I had some food today.
Today?
Yeah, I don't really eat because I'm so hungry. Yeah, man, but
So that's what Muse is about, basically. That's
Yeah.
what you're telling Jamaica's story.
yeah, which is one of make money the way that we want it to be. But is that what I mean? Yo, the fact of the matter is, bro. Like, you're taking forever to do this.
Right.
You could just like lock it out so we could record, you know, while, you know.
Oh, sorry, my fault. Sorry.
Yo, you still asleep, you know that? Yeah, but it's good that I could have found a team who kind of so flexible and kind of buying still, because some fear thing when I talk about, you know, that some things will never happen yet. You know, what are we talking about, man? I mean, like,
I have one more question.
no. I was gonna answer that last thing.
Right.
Yeah. She's going on too, so
You can probably press it, right?
I mean, still press it anyways. Now you're gonna have to face up for that shit you said. Yeah, so
Yeah, so
yeah, the
in
story
a
of Muse.
nutshell, your life, your company's life, is really about telling stories, telling Jamaica's story, telling the accurate story.
Yeah, I mean, what is more important than country would come at town and do something different, you know? Because I could have gone med school, yeah, an ex-doctor. I could have go back to do my master's in biology. I'm not a biologist, frustrated now I lab somewhere, sorry to all biologists. You know, I mean, I could have stayed as a copywriter, move up slowly at certain places. I could have stayed at a lab and, you know, but it's important for me to kind of keep that threat going, you know, because like once you start get comfortable, like you start realizing, yo, you might you might be losing and don't realize, you know, because sometimes when you're comfortable, it's just that you haven't started to feel the effects of the loss yet, you know. So it's about just trying a bag of things, and above all, try to make some money in a way that looks different. We don't want to fit in a your mold. We don't want to come to your get-togethers and your business card exchanges and something there. Yeah, we do it, you know, but we don't want it. We want to say, can we just be chill and make some bag of money? That's really what we want this thing, you know.
That's cool. That's cool. Any last thoughts?
Mm. Creativity. All right. So the idea of putting money. So the idea of putting money behind something that's as intangible or ephemeral as a idea, you know, like that's big of foreign, you know, like man investing on things where them can't even understand all the time, you know. Silicon Valley, like a man say, oh, this does that. All right, cool. I just want in. We haven't gotten to that point in Jamaica, you know. So our creativity isn't seen as investable yet. But that's our job to prove a return on some people that have already invested in us, and then we say, yeah, because people like Himala who invest time and money and teaching, you understand? Like my business partners, you know, like a man like Laren who basically engineered the whole thing just by being impatient, you know, like, oh, god damn it, I don't want to be here anymore. And like Laren just roll out, you say, oh, that's inspirational. When you get out there and you realize, damn, this thing is tough, you see me? But it's a man like that who always did it. At least you can go to him and complain about it. Some people don't have nobody to complain with, you see me? So that's just the beauty of it still, you know? That's Muse, the culture.
That's good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wicked. So yo, we have enough business for doing now, brother.
Joe, let's sit